and gentlemen, the Man Song.
Oh my.
He's the man. He's the man.
I don't take no crap from anybody else but you. I wear the pants around here when I finish with your laundry. Cause I'm a guy you don't want to fight. When I say jump, you say yeah right. I'm the man of this house.
He's the man. He's the man.
What I say goes around here, right out the window. And I don't want to hear a lot of whining, so I'll shut up.
And that's how we're going to open the show. Welcome to the Sports Zone, Saturday morning. And joining me, as always, Mr. Chris Strickland. And did we have a barn burner last night? If you tuned into the Escambia Pine Forest game, you got every penny you paid for that football game.
Most definitely you did, Paul. And for everybody that watched the game last night, I'll tell you what, it was a barn burning of a ball game. Of course, Escambia coming up a little bit short last night against Pine Forest, 21-17. Before I get into that, first off, I want to go ahead and say this, and I'm probably fixing to make a lot of people mad, but guess what? I really don't give a crap. What Pine Forest did last night, and I'm talking to you, Pine Forest players, and Coach Jerry Pollard, y'all did something last night that was very classless. Very classless. Our guys were coming to shake your hands. You guys started to do something very wrong, and you guys should be reprimanded for it, and I think Jerry Pollard should be suspended for the remainder of the season.
Well, I think everybody had their opinions. Everybody who was there last night, both good and bad. The terrible thing about the whole thing last night is it was a great high school rivalry football game.
Why can't you just go shake hands, be done with it,
right up until it was time to be good sportsmen.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that it took place. Are we biased? Yeah, we're biased. We have a strong tie with Escambia High School and those mighty Gators, and those young men who fought their butts off last night. The amazing thing about it is Pine Forest, you guys got a good football team.
They do.
You have a very good football team, and you ruined any opinions that anybody may have made to you by the mockery that you made of your victory by simply trying to show out.
Right.
And Chris, let me tell you something. Yeah, I'm just, leadership comes from the top. And I want to tip my hat to Principal Frank Murphy.
Oh, yes.
At Escambia,
yes,
who was one of the first folks on the field standing behind his guys.
Most definitely, yes.
Now that would have not happened last year. I don't feel, under the leadership of Mike Sherrill. I believe there would have been, finger pointing as to why it took place.
Suspension.
I want to tip my hat to Coach Davis.
Oh, yes.
And the coaching staff at Escambia for getting everything under control immediately. I want to tip my hat to the Gator players,
yes,
who had every reason in the world to show out and make that a bigger ordeal than it was. And to each and every one of those gentlemen who wear the orange and blue last night, guys, don't hold your heads low. You fought a hell of a football game. You came up a bit short. What you did after the game will subsidize anything you do the rest of the season. Gentlemen, anybody can win a football game. It takes real men
to take it like a man.
To swallow your pride when you are being chastised and walk away.
Yeah, Coach Bryant said this: losing doesn't make you. I can't remember how Coach Bryant said it, but we experienced it 2 weeks ago with Alabama and Ole Miss. A lot of people were like, losing doesn't define you. It's how you handle. It's how you respond. Next Friday night, they've got a great opportunity to respond against a very, very good football team, and that right there is a very, very good football team in Pine Forest, and congratulations to them on a win, but again, tainted by what happened last night, and it was complete and utter stupidity on the part of the Pine Forest Eagles, and I mean, I really do think that Malcolm Thomas should suspend Coach Pollard for the remainder of the season. I think he should be suspended, and I think that the players that led it should be suspended as well. I think the ones that any coaches that were involved in the should be suspended as well.
Well, with that being said, we're going to get off of that. The bandwagon is over. However, anybody out there listening in our great radio world, jump on Facebook, and if you saw the game, leave your comments. Agree with us, disagree with us. If you're a Pine Forest fan and you saw something differently that we did not, by all means, let us know.
Yes.
We are not so one-sided that we can't look at something else, but guys, from the press box and the vantage point that we had, what we saw, or at least what I saw, should have never, ever taken place.
Right.
And I'm very proud to call myself an Escambia Gator. I'm very proud of our young men last night. However, like I said, Pine Forest, congratulations on your win. Enjoy it. You have a tough district, just like Escambia does. But the mockery that you made of the game that we love, the game that you guys love, and showing zero class and zero sportsmanship at the end of that game, will come back later in the year to haunt you guys. Just remember that.
Karma is karma.
Because it always does. Let's look at the other scores up and down the Gulf Coast. Gulf Breeze 48, Milton 26. Chris,
Shocker.
What a shocker. Gulf Breeze putting some points on the board. Milton struggling a little bit. Tough loss for the Milton Panthers and Coach Summers over there, Jason Summers, who I had the pleasure of playing football with growing up. Jason, you took that one on the chin, my friend. Tate 38, Washington 21.
Closer than what people thought.
Closer than it should have been.
Guys, everybody, this is what I thought, Paul, is that Washington was going to be a slouch. They just proved, no, they're not a slouch.
Well,
they're going to give the Gators all they want.
Chris, here's the thing with Washington is each game they're getting better. Each game they're improving under the leadership of Coach Charlie Ward over there. And my goodness, you have to just tip your hat to the team. And congratulations, Washington. Y'all played a great game. Tate, look out. Everybody's gunning for you. But congratulations on your win. Pine Forest, Escambia, 21-17. We've already said all we need to say about that.
Wow, Navarre rolling.
Navarre is...
Enough said.
Navarre has earned the #1 team in the powerhouse. If they are not, the Pensacola News Journal needs to rethink their process. Baker 48, Jay 26. Good job with Baker. Matt Bronson over there with the Baker Gators. Doing an excellent job.
The first team that I've ever seen Gator colors that are crimson and white.
Well, it's tough.
Tough to find colors, I guess.
Maplesville 32, Northview 0. Northview took it on the chin. Here is the one that surprised the fire out of me. Bay High School out of Panama City, Florida. The Bay Tornadoes 23, and the Pensacola High Tigers, who have been on a tear of late, only managed to score one time.
Can you say ouch?
Yeah, and then Catholic 19, Florida High 13. That was a big game for Catholic in the 1-3A division. Congratulations to the Catholic Crusaders on a big win.
Well, Paul, I'll tell you, there's a lot of those shockers that, of course, that shock you. The biggest one, of course, was Milton, losing the tough one. And, that's going to be Milton's got to get right the ship because they got to get into district play as more and more get ready to go here.
Well, I don't think you're going to see Milton or Pace in the playoffs this year. I don't see them getting in there, not against teams like Choctaw and some of these other teams that are just on fire. So with that, what do you look at now? Football season well underway, and what we're going to do is talk a little bit about Major League Baseball. The pennant race is on fire.
Playoff brackets are already up. I've got one pulled up here on the trusty iPad here today. So we've got the playoff brackets up. And we'll set the seats for you right here, Paul. And It looks like we'll go from the wild cards. The 4 seed will be the Pittsburgh Pirates. The 5 seed will be your Chicago Cubbies, and they own the tiebreaker over them, so they will host the wild card game in Wrigley Field. So, and then of course the 2 seed is the Los Angeles Dodgers. They are 90-70 right now, and they will play host in the division series to the 89-70 Eastern Division champions, the New York Mets. Not the Washington Nationals, not the Atlanta Braves. The Mets are back in the playoffs for the first time since 2000, I think 2003 or 2006. The number 1 seed, of course, is the 11-time World Series champion St. Louis Cardinals. They're with a record of 160. My Cardinals, number 1 right now. And now we flip over to the American League.
100. You said with 160.
100 wins, 60 losses.
There we go. Let's clarify that.
Yeah.
If it's 160, they lost 1 game this year.
Yeah, but that would be amazing. Now we'll move over to the American League. The number 1 seed, the surprise. Nobody thought this team would come out. It will be the Toronto Blue Jays will have the number 1 seed. They will have home field throughout the NL playoffs. Number 4 seed, Mr. Yankee and his Yankees are in the playoffs. They will get either the Houston Astros or the LA Angels. The Angels of Anaheim are out of the playoffs right now with a loss today. The Astros clinched the playoffs for the first time in many years. They will be in the playoffs, and I believe Houston is going to have home field in that game as well. The 2 seed, of course, the Kansas City Royals, last year's World Series participant, back in the playoffs. And here's another surprise. Where in the heck did the Texas Rangers come from?
The Rangers just got hot at the right time.
And now they're the 4 seed. They're going to be going in. So, guys, there's a lot of playoffs that's going on right now. And
you know what's crazy? If you look at those brackets, you have 3 teams, 3 bona fide World Series contending teams coming out of the NL Central. And if you are the Pirates, you know you're going to face 21-game winner
Jake Arrieta,
and if it is in Chicago,
it's going to be loud. It's going to be rocking.
Buddy, that's going to be a tough game for the Pirates to win. Pirates have struggled against Cincinnati. I mean, it took 11 innings for them to beat Cincinnati last night. Cubs, of course, swept the Reds.
Of course, the Braves rested, the Cardinals rested the starters last night. But here's the key thing, Paul. Nobody thought it would happen. Adam Wainwright, off the disabled list, pitched a perfect 2 innings. He's back. He looks great. He looks rested. He looks extremely rested. I would not be surprised if you see Adam Wainwright getting the ball in Game 1, either against the Cubs or the Pirates.
Well,
if you're Mike Matheny, would you do that?
No, I mean I wouldn't.
I wouldn't him in the bullpen.
I wouldn't give him the ball yet. I sure wouldn't start him, and I wouldn't start him against the Cubs or the Pirates, who have dangerous weapons from 1 through 9. I mean, the real thing with the Cubs and the Pirates is that anywhere you look, 1 through 9, they've got power. They've got speed. They've got the ability to beat you with any one of those players.
Right.
And that's a problem, Chris, because you don't want to go with a pitcher who's just off the IR.
Most definitely.
And put him in that situation. Can I see him doing it? Yeah, I can see him doing it. Would I do it? Not in a million years.
I would not if I was Mike Matheny, but you do know, but this is the cool thing about Mike Matheny. Mike Matheny is a gambler, but he does also know that if he gets a lead, he has Trevor Rosenthal, the best closer in the league, and he also has Adam Wainwright. Those guys are pretty much untouchable.
I get that. The problem is, especially with the Chicago Cubs jump on you fast and furious. They get all their runs in the first 4 or 5 innings. And when you do that, it's hard to get deep into your bullpen where you can rely on those guys. I mean, you can get in your bullpen, but they're going to come in a situation where they're not trying to save the game, they're trying to win the game.
Right, and that's the thing about the Cubs is the Cubs are one of the most dangerous teams right now in this, but I think that this is my predictions. It will be Chicago coming out of that wild card. They will go to St. Louis. I think it will be none other. I think the Yankees will get a run. The Yankees will go and they will play their nemesis, the Toronto Blue Jays. And then it will be, of course, you've got the Dodgers down in the taking on the Mets. I'm pulling this right here, Paul. The Mets beat the Dodgers in 7 games, and they will play host, and they will play the St. Louis Cardinals in the NLCS, and the Cardinals will beat them and go to the NLCS. The Yankees will lose to the Toronto Blue Jays. But here's the thing about your Cubs. That NLDS goes 7 games.
Absolutely.
Go 7 games.
Now let me give you my prediction.
And then right here I got to go here. Kansas City takes out Detroit. Kansas City beats Texas. Kansas City then turns right around and beats Toronto and sets up the Show Me State World Series. The St. Louis Cardinals, Kansas City Royals. You talking about the state of Missouri will go completely nuts. Those two rivals separated by just miles apart. You talking about the Show Me State? It's going to be the Show Me State World Series. They might as well call it the Show Me World Series. That's what they ought to call it, Paul.
All right.
Go ahead.
I got my World Series prediction here.
Okay, you've got mine. You already put.
Okay. Now this is just for the World Series.
And St. Louis to win it in 6.
Okay. I do not. All right. That's my 2 teams in the World Series.
Well, you're a homer. I'll give you that bottom one. I'm not sold on Houston, though. I mean, they got one good starting pitcher. That's all they've got, and that's the bearded one. Looks like one of the Robertsons.
Okay, yes, but what they have is youth. Youth who is playing unscared and is playing untethered by what is going on in what they are.
And so does the Toronto Blue Jays, and so does the Kansas City Royals.
But I think the Blue Jays and the Yankees have to X one another out. I think the Yankees, I don't know how they do it or why they do it, but every year in the playoffs they've managed to do it. I think the experience along with the Yankees get by the Blue Jays, and they get tripped up by Houston, who has been really their sore thumb
Houston
a lot.
Well, Houston will play the Yankees in the wild card game.
So never mind.
Yeah. So you think Houston?
Right, so I think Houston will beat the Yankees.
You think Houston will go into Toronto?
Okay. Well,
in north of the border and knock off the Toronto Blue Jays. Well,
you know what? I do. I do. I'm gonna stick by my pick.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you that miracles happen.
Well, look at
do you believe in miracles?
I believe in miracles. So guess what? The Cubbies are a big miracle this year.
Well, let me tell you what.
They could you 4th this year?
Could you?
And they're finishing.
Could you find a bigger World Series ticket than that ticket right there?
No. And
because I'm tired of seeing the Cardinals in it. To be honest with you.
Well, I think. I mean, hey, but you're talking about a big. But this is what I'm talking about for the Show Me State, for Missouri. That would be such a huge thing because just imagine the ticket sales. Imagine the restaurants. The revenue that's going to come into that state.
They've had that. They've had the Subway series. They've had the Bay series, between San Francisco and Oakland. They've had New York versus New York.
The Subway series,
The Subway series. We've had those. Imagine 2 teams full of youngsters.
Yeah, that would be
who are playing
just to have fun.
The biggest game of their lives, and they're just having fun. Joe Madden knows how to make these guys just as cool breeze as possible.
But here's the thing: Joe Madden is 0-1 in World Series appearances.
Well, he's due then, ain't he?
Yeah, and he lost to, of course, the Philadelphia Phillies. And I'm a Cardinals guy. That's why I'm just thinking the Cardinals. But hey, but you never know. The Cardinals could get swept by the Cubs in 4 games.
Yeah, absolutely. The Cubs have the ability with Luster, Jake Arrieta.
But this is the thing about you just said it, youth. Their first appearance in a playoff.
Listen, man, this team is so loose. they don't realize what they're in. They're still hammering the fire out of the baseball. They're seeing the ball well. They're hitting the ball well. Addison is like a magician at short. He makes plays that people dream about making.
Right.
The weakness in the Cub lineup, and I hate to say it because he's knocking the cover off the ball right now, is 24 error Sterling Castro at second base. But you can do something with Castro. You can move Soler into second, who is a much better second baseman. You have both Bryant and
Rizzo at the corners.
And Rizzo at your corners. Or if you need to move Bryant somewhere, you can, because Bryant can not only play third, he can play first, he can play left, he can play right.
And you also got your catcher,
Kyle Schreiber, who is now playing in the outfield. He can also catch. You got Montoro, who is behind the plate, who is just
Derek Roy, and you got
perfect.
Ross, David Ross.
You got and let me tell you something about Ross. Everybody gets on Ross because he's got a 128 batting average or whatever it is.
He catches the games good.
He is a game manager. When he's behind that plate, John Lester believes in him, and he can throw his nasty stuff and not worry about it.
Right.
And that is real darn important. So with that, man, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to try to have a special guest, and
if not, we'll come back.
We'll come back and talk some more baseball. But we're going to take a break real quick, and we'll be back in about 2.5 minutes.
Pensacola. Are you curious about our coast? Go to visitpensacola.com for the latest information on Pensacola Beach and Perdido Key. Come enjoy 450 years of history. Our unhurried pace soothes your senses with art galleries, world-class museums, festivals, air shows, and great local flavors, all linked by miles of sugar white beaches. So come enjoy Pensacola. Many properties have waived cancellation fees and are offering money-back guarantees. Call or click visitpensacola.com.
Country girls. They're at farmersonly.com.
You don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com.
Day 38. Gaining the trust of the locals hasn't been easy. I might blend in better with the right dance partner. Maybe not so spicy. Spicier than that, though. Whoa. Popeye's new red stick chicken. All white meat chicken seasoned in a Tabasco pepper marinade and served with Cajun fries, biscuit, and ranch dipping sauce for $3.99. Going native.
730 Sports Media Network.
What if I told you that you were thirsty? You were thirsty for something that you couldn't describe. It's like coming onto the promise, just a trickle, even a glimmer of moisture, of water in the vast desert. What if I told you that there's a fountain beneath you, like a river flowing deep and blue and cold, that if you found this, that you could drink like a kid who drinks glass after glass of water from the tap after playing kickball all day in July? What if I told you that others would run with their tin cups and ladles, their pots and buckets, their hopes, fears, regrets, pasts and futures, up to your side, just to catch some of this water? What if I told you that there is more for you? There is more for us. There is more for this desert.
The Whiz Kids had won it, Bobby Thompson had done it, and Yogi read the comics all the while. Rock and roll was being born, marijuana we would scorn. So down on the corner the national pastime went on trial. Talking baseball, Klazuski, Campanella, talking baseball.
And we want to welcome everybody back to the Sports Zone as we are trying to get in touch with our special guest. I guess he's tied up this morning. We'll try to get back in touch with Mr. Tim Newman of Speedster Athletic Training Products and Speed Training Products, and we're going to talk to him about his company and how important speed training is for all your young athletes. Well, Chris, there is like 700 different scenarios that could take place in the next couple of days between virtually 3 teams or 4 teams: the Astros, the A's, the Angels, the Twins, and the Yankees. And the scenarios kind of look like this. If Houston would host the tiebreaker by virtue of a 10-9 series win over the Los Angeles A's.
Angels, yes.
I'm sorry, Angels. That's right. Houston, Oakland A's. If Astro and the Twins tie, then Houston will go to Minnesota Monday. The Twins would host a tiebreaker game because the Houston and Minnesota each have won 3 of their head-to-head meetings this season, and interdivision record would come into play where the Twins have a 40-33 mark against the American League Central teams, which is better than Houston, who is 38-38 against the AL West foes. So now that's a scenario. The other one is, what if the Yankees and the Astros tie? Then New York would go to Houston in the wild card game on Tuesday. This comes into play if the Yankees and Astros finish with 87 wins and the Rangers win at least one more to claim the AL West title. In this case, Houston would host the Yankees in the wild card game because of the Astros are 4-3 head-to-head matchup advantage over the Yankees.
Okay, you're confusing me a little bit here now. Okay, so you mean to tell me?
I mean to tell you.
Right here, this game here, we would have a one-game playoff, then the Astros would have to go play another?
On Tuesday. Another one game.
Okay, all right. Somebody's going to have to fix this. I think we need to go 3 wild card teams. I think we need to have 3 wild card teams and end the season early and get this over with. I mean, because that's going to put Houston going into the playoffs, having to pitch Dallas Keuchel, the opening day their first starter, in that playoff game against the Twins. Yeah, that basically handcuffs the Astros.
Changes the whole dynamic of everything. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about, and I thank God the campaign has failed to convince Steve Berkman to come to the Cubs wild card game. Thank God this guy said, I want no part of this. If he showed up at that game, to this very day, the Cubs would hang him. Not the Cubs, Cub fans. They would hang him. There is no way this guy is ever going to be allowed to attend another Cubs ball game.
I don't get why y'all are so hard on this guy.
I'm not just hard. Listen, me personally, I'm not just hard on Steve Barkman. I'm hard on the lady in the red dress and the white coat. I'm hard on the guy behind him. I'm hard on the guy that originally dropped his beer and knocked the ball to Barkman. There are so many things that I am upset about. But the biggest thing is I'm upset with my Cubbies because we still had the lead in that game, and we gave it away. We have blown up the ball. We've shot the goat.
How long has that been? How long has that been?
We should be over, but we're not.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically, it's just, it's...
I mean, this guy, people have set up a GoFundMe page to raise the money to bring Barkman to the game. I'm sorry, he's not wanted. Could you imagine? You know what? This Cubs team probably wouldn't know. Probably wouldn't care. But you see, look at this picture. It's not just him. It's all of these. But you see this guy here. Look at this guy. This guy going, whoa, I want no part of that foul ball. He understood. He got
like, I got it. No, I don't.
He understood.
And then all he did was like,
he understood. He got it. How important is this one game if you're a Cubs fan? Astronomical.
yeah, I agree with you on that one, Paul. And, you know, I just, it's just.
Wrigley, my friend, will be rocking
I'm telling
on
you.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, you ain't just a kid, and it's going to be rocking. It's going to be a very hostile place. It's
Or is it Monday? What day is the playoff on? In Wrigley.
I'll pull that up right now.
You know,
The wild card game in Wrigley. Hang on here. Oh, NASCAR. Yay. Bunch of guys chasing around each other, going around and around and around and around. Wherever he stops, nobody knows. Oh, he's in the wall.
I want to know. I need to know. I have to know.
Okay, Cubbies. Okay, the MLB wild card game will be held. Wild card games. Okay.
Love the sound effects, by the way.
Yeah, it's just, okay. Well, I'd say, when's the regular season ends tomorrow, so I think it's till Tuesday. They get a day off, so I think it's Tuesday.
Alright, so here's the deal.
I think the National League, the NL...
Cubs can still catch the Pirates.
The AL, I think, is Monday, NL's Tuesday. Or NL's Tuesday, Monday, whatever. I can't tell.
Alright, so it's going to be Monday or Tuesday. But the Cubs can still catch the Pirates. Cubs only 2 behind the Pirates with 2 to go.
And the Cubs are not resting starters.
No, they're pitching their rotation.
Mike Matheny is being smart right now. He is being very smart because he wants his guys ready to go.
Yeah, but, I mean, you're taking them out of their rotation.
Right.
And that's not very good, man, because some guys never get back.
That's true. I will give you that.
Why would you do that to your team? I understand being smart, but I also understand that why would you take and muck with the rotation when the rotation is so important to the game itself?
Well, it's also probably giving these younger guys an experience in a major league game, getting them ready to go, so they won't be like, he hasn't played any experience because he probably doesn't want it to be, something in the playoffs. But whatever, it's going to be very interesting. But I tell you, it's going to be St. Louis and it's going to be Chicago in the NLDS, and of course then it'll be. I'm saying, like I said, again. All right, folks. I'm going on record. The Cardinals. It's going to be the Cardinals and the Kansas City Royals, and the Cardinals will beat the Kansas City Royals in 6 games.
I hope not. I won't even watch that series. A
6-game series. It will be in the game. Final game 6 will be in Busch Stadium.
That's a shame because I would love to get a good World Series matchup, and I won't even watch that.
Well, let's get you. You done said yours. You've done said Houston and Chicago.
Who
picks the world? Who you think wins the World Series?
I think Chicago wins it this year.
You think what's the game prediction?
I think Chicago wins it in 5.
5 games.
And I think.
Do you think they win it in Chicago, or do you think they win it in Houston?
I would love to see them win it in Chicago, but if they win it in 5, they have to win it in Houston. Because it'll be 2-3-2.
Okay, so I'm Cardinals. So we've got a team from the Central Division winning it. We may be completely wrong, and here comes the Pirates. They win. They sweep everybody. They sweep 4 games sweep all the way through. And the Pirates win it. You talking about Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh would go crazy, dude.
It would be horrible.
Pittsburgh would go completely crazy.
It would be horrible. I don't even want to talk about that. Anyhow, let's move on.
Well, yeah, let's move back to the game that we
12:41. Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon. We picked last week. I went 1 for 4. Horrible.
Coach Spears didn't do that bad neither. By the way, a tough loss for him and his Yellow Jackets last night. That was a tough one. They lost 34-21 last night. It's a tough loss for Coach Spears and them last night. So that puts them 1-1 in district play.
That's tough.
But hey,
small district.
Small district, but guess what? They could rebound very quickly.
All right, so it's time, Chris. It's time for us to Time to take our last break, and then when we come back, we'll do our picks.
Do our picks and talk a little about some of all these big games that's going on here this afternoon.
And we will try to get Mr. Newman on the phone.
Where are all the country girls?
They're at farmersonly.com.
You don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com.
What if I told you that you were thirsty? You were thirsty for something that you couldn't describe. It's like coming onto the promise, just a trickle, even a glimmer of moisture, of water in the vast desert. What if I told you that there's a fountain beneath you, like a river flowing deep and blue and cold, that if you found this, that you could drink like a kid who drinks glass after glass of water from the tap after playing kickball all day in July? What if I told you that others would run with their tin cups and ladles, their pots and buckets, their hopes, fears, regrets, pasts and futures, up to your side, just to catch some of this water? What if I told you that there is more for you? There is more for us. There is more for this desert.
Baseball season's underway. Well, you better get ready for a brand new day. Hey, Chicago, what do you say?
Hey, St. Louis, what do you say?
They're gonna beat the Cards today.
The Cubs are going to lose to the Cardinals today.
Go, Cubs, go! Go, Cubs, go!
And we want to welcome everybody back to the Sports Zone, our final segment of the morning, afternoon, / whatever you'd like to call it, Chris.
Yeah, whatever.
Quit messing with the cable.
I ain't messing with the cables. I'm trying to cut you off at the
It is
song.
time.
If Simon was on here right now, he said that would be ugly. How about that? Quit cutting me off now.
Do the picks.
Okay, all right, okay.
It's time for our picks.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's hope and pray to the man upstairs that we do better
Chris
this week.
Strickland, with your picks, sir. With the number one pick of the afternoon, Strickland, you are now on the clock.
Okay.
Alabama or Georgia? In what is going to be the rain game.
Why did you have to start with that one first? Why couldn't we go with something else?
58 degrees, Stanford Stadium at Athens, Georgia. Rain, miserable. By the way, 531 tickets available, starting at just $148.
Because I think they know why. Because Hurricane Joaquin is tearing up Athens right now. It's going to be completely a monsoon. It's just going to be, I mean, just hearing Jim Cantore was in there today. He was actually on College Game Day, and it's just unbelievable the rain that's probably going to be in the Athens area. This will be a low-scoring ball game, I don't think this today could mark the end of the Alabama dynasty if they lose. And I am actually going to Both teams have got good running games. They've got Nick Chubb. Alabama's got Derrick Henry. They've got Bo Scarborough coming back. But I'm just not sold on Jake Coker. I'm taking Georgia Bulldogs to win by a final score of 7-3.
Ooh, a real low game.
Final score 7-3. I may say 14-10. Say 14-10 because Grayson Lambert's been really good right now. Jake Coker, I just really don't think that he's going to do it. I hate to pick against my Tide, but I am. It's in Athens. The game is just that's going to put us out of the national championship. That's going to put us out of. I mean, this is a rebuilding year for Alabama. I mean, because there's so much uncertainty at quarterback. You don't know who's going to start, but of course you know Jake Coker's going to start. But there has been a players-only meeting. You know, I'm going with my gut saying that Georgia's going to win, but in my heart, I just think that Alabama is going to go to Athens, Georgia, and knock the living piss out of Georgia. I mean, they're going to not literally, but it's going to be a slugfest. I'm going with my gut saying Georgia, but in my heart, I think Alabama's going to pull off the upset.
Well, in my heart and my gut, I think the Bulldogs roll. I think they win 28-14.
You think
against?
They can't run up the middle. They can't run up the middle against Alabama. They're going to have to do it on the edge.
What they have to do when you are playing in a monsoon, the field is level.
That's exactly right.
And I give it to Georgia at home, 28-14 over
Alabama.
Alabama.
By the way, but
Alabama reign is over.
I mean, with my gut, I feel
Nick
like
Saban will be in the NFL next year.
Dallas is probably the New Orleans Saints job may be open.
Okay, next, I'll have to quit being a Saints fan. I swear to God I will. Next game on the ballot, Ole Miss at Florida in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. 70 degrees, cloudy skies.
How much tickets are left for this?
And guys, we have 523 tickets available for this game, starting at just $40. We need to go. Can we get there in time? It is a 6 p.m. kickoff. We could get there at kickoff if we left right now. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's show. And
we're gone.
We're out of here.
We're gone. My wife would literally kill me if she found out there was tickets for $40. She would say, "I'm killing you right now," literally. Picking this one, Paul. I mean, I'm telling you, Ole Miss went into Tuscaloosa and made a believer out of me. Last weekend, Florida made a believer out of me even more when they come back from 28 to 14.
Okay.
14 points down. They came back and won 27-14. Came back and won 28-7. 28-27.
Pick your game where the clock is ticking. Tick, 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 tick. Going with the Gators. What's your prediction on your score?
24-23.
You must be copying me. I too am going with the mighty orange and blue.
Jim McElwain has got those players believing. Last week, Paul, in that game against Tennessee, when that young receiver caught the football, what did you see when he broke down the far sideline to score that winning touchdown? What did you see?
I saw confidence.
What did you see also that you probably wouldn't have seen in a Will Muschamp team? Other players selling out to make the play happen.
Well, yeah, I didn't see that. I was probably eating at that time. But listen to me. My score. 21-20.
This was the catch was made. He turned up field. The guy at number 81, he turned up field, caught the ball. There was a receiver that was blocking. It was number 4. It was the best receiver on the team. He took the defender from Tennessee out of the play, and that sprung him. That is why I said you now see a difference in Jim McElwain to Will Muschamp. You can tell what Muschamp's doing at Auburn right now. They're terrible. They're terrible. You know, but look what Florida's doing. And Jim McElwain is doing it the right way. He's doing it his way. And he's also beginning to run this program a little bit like Nick Saban. I mean, he's running, but you can tell that he's preaching 4 quarters. He's preaching a process. Jim McElwain has got that Nick Saban imprint on him, and I don't think Hugh Freeze can do it in the swamp. It's going to be too loud. Chad Kelly's second road start. This is going to be Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. This is the swamp. Last time Ole Miss came to the swamp, they knocked off Florida. I don't think so. Will Greer may not start tonight. They don't know who's going to start tonight. Will Greer's got a flu. They don't know if he's going to start tonight. Treon Harris could start tonight. Jim Michael, Hugh Freeze had to get ready for not one but two quarterbacks possibly this week.
Next game on the agenda. Chris, you are now on the clock. Notre Dame and Clemson. Quit hitting the plugs.
Well, I can't help that. It's right here. You had to put him right next to my leg. All right,
Slide
Clemson.
over some. I gave you plenty of room over there.
Yeah, I'm
There
glad
you
now.
go. All right.
I bumped into the chair.
Memorial Stadium.
It's going to be rocking.
Clemson, South Carolina, 61 degrees, and the hurricane is going to make itself felt. They are calling for rain. Guys, there's a boodle of tickets available. 771 tickets, starting as low as $78. Stuff
For the number
get 'em
six,
while they're hot.
for the number 6 ranked team in the country and the number 12th ranked team in the country, these people are cray cray. These people are cray cray. Why?
Take your pick.
We went last time 2 weeks ago. We went against the Irish. We did not fare very good. And guess what? I'm going to do it again. Clemson with a big win tonight over the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, 35-14. Dabo Swinney gets the signature win.
35-14.
Their defense is just too good, dude.
Preach, I love you. You know I love you, Preach. I too am taking Clemson 42-7 over Notre Dame.
It's Notre Dame, you know that.
I don't care.
He's going to call you.
Notre Dame.
There you go.
Notre Dame.
The
Fighting Irish drop tonight's game 42-7.
What? You're not giving them even 14 points?
Nope. I don't see it happening again.
You are cray beyond belief.
All right, we got 2 minutes left in the show,
No, we
Chris.
don't. We got plenty of time.
Next game. Texas Tech versus Baylor.
Can I say 100 to 101?
You can. That may really be the actual
Baylor.
score. Baylor.
85-71.
85-71.
I was just playing.
It's already on paper.
Well, I was just playing.
Can you erase it? It's in ink and pen.
Well, you can white it out, Joe.
Okay, I have no more whiteout. That's your pick.
I'm not going to say that. I will say it's going to be a high-scoring ball game. I'm going to say 55-41 or 55-50.
55-50. Wow.
They say they have there is no defense in that conference, and especially with those two teams. Me. Whew.
Okay, so you got Baylor over Tech.
I got Baylor over Tech. It's in Baylor. I like it.
We are in disagreement here. I picked Texas Tech over Baylor, 35-28.
I want to know what stuff you're on because these two, they're already picking 100 points between these two teams tonight.
It's okay. I don't have to be like everybody is. I can
I'm just
be
going by the
my own
stat.
man.
I know you're trying to be your own man.
I ain't trying to be. I am my own man.
I
And I think that it's going to be closer than people think.
Right.
I think there's going to be a lot of turnovers on both sides of the football.
The ball's
tonight.
going to be flying around the yard. There's probably going to be 12 interceptions, 6 on each side.
Well, then you better hurry up and go down there and get your tickets because I do believe they have some tickets left for this game.
If I leave right
And
now,
you know what?
I
Listen,
won't
let me
make
tell you what. 3,545 tickets available. The game is being played at AT&T Stadium, Dallas Stadium in Arlington, Texas tonight.
Ooh. Jerry's
Guys,
while we pick an NFL, we need to pick some NFL games. We still got
$41.
Ooh.
41.
Jerry must not be hurting for no money right now.
Dollars.
Jerry must not be hurting for no money.
$41.
$41.
$41.
Good night. Look at that, I say.
$41.
We still got plenty of time. We didn't get on. We still got a lot of time. We didn't get on the air till 12:07 because somebody was messing with a phone.
Well, my son has priority.
Well, I mean,
All right.
I know.
NFL time.
Let's go, baby.
Pick one. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts.
Andrew Luck literally pulled my heart out of my chest last week. I was at church keeping up with the game. It was 27-14, 28-14. My Titans were winning. I turned around. It was 35-28, and I was like, dude, what? So
that's what you get when you get God involved, and you're supposed to be worshiping Him. And you are worshiping the Titan. That's not what you said. You said you were in church. You cannot. You better quit back. Excuse me. Hold on, guys. Let me scoot back.
The Titans. I was in church. After church, my wife had a nursery meeting, and I was looking at it on my phone. That's what I was saying. What are you looking for? Are you looking for the cloud to strike you or something? What are you doing?
Because when lightning comes through, I don't want to get hit.
Hey, you know that's metal. That's not going to help. Okay, anyway, but I like Indianapolis in this game. Indianapolis to beat Jacksonville. Show everybody on camera what you got on top of your head. So you see that? He's got his Homer hat on today. All right. Yeah, good luck putting that thing back up there without knocking the thing off. Or if you knock the camera off. Do that to me. How dare you? All right, let's move on. What are you picking?
I am going
You better not go Jacksonville. You better not go Jacksonville.
I am going. Let me tell you a little bit about this guy, Andrew Luck, who is killing me in fantasy football this year. I finally get a chance to draft him, and what's he done? Nothing. He's killing me. He's eating my lunch. I'm going to take Blake Bortles over Andrew Luck today.
Tomorrow.
In the game. Well, see, I'll be in church. And not watching the game.
I'm not going to be here. I'm good.
Anyhow, we're not going to go there.
You better drop it.
Jaguars 21, Colts 17.
Okay. I'll go with that.
You going to give me your score, or you just going to stick with...
I'm going to say 24-17. Indianapolis.
24-17.
Let's go to London now.
Nobody wants to go to London.
Okay.
We can go to London.
Yeah.
Jets and the Dolphins.
Dolphins are in disarray right now. There's also a rumor going around that if the Jets, there is a rumor flying around that if the Dolphins lose to the Jets, they will fire Joe Philbin before he even leaves London, England. He will leave unemployed. They said there will be coaching changes made in the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins have they got Ndamukong Suh, they've got all these athletes down there in South Florida.
And they can't beat their way out of a paper bag.
So they are saying that Joe Philbin, if he loses tomorrow, he will be fired immediately after the game.
All right, your call. Give me a score.
Jets 31-20 over the Dolphins.
Well, as badly, and I do mean this in the most kind way.
It better be easy.
As badly as I think the Jets can beat the Dolphins, I'm going to take the Dolphins in London.
9:30 in the morning, by the way.
21. You ready?
Yeah.
21-20 overtime.
Oh, okay. All right, I like that idea. All right, moving on.
Saints and the Cowboys.
You go ahead. This one right here is...
you're on the clock, my friend.
Saints get their first win. Drew Brees is coming back. They don't have Tony Romo. They don't have Des Bryant. I like the Saints to win this one by a score of 28-17.
Saints 28, Cowboys 17.
Yep. Don't you pick against your Saints.
I don't want to, but I worry about our defense. Defense isn't very good.
Well, you ship half of them off to Seattle and you ship half of them off to the Raiders and all that stuff, and of course you got the ugliest of the Ryans, I think, on the defensive.
And the worst of the Ryans.
I think you're right. So go ahead, your pick. Are you gonna go Dallas?
21-14
Dallas Cowboys.
Saints continue to look for their first win.
Oh Lord, this is you're about to put the paper bag back on your head. Ooh, let's look at this one here. Peyton and the Broncos going to the Vikings. I like Peyton in that one.
It's not really a good game, man.
No.
It's not a good game to pick.
Cardinals beat the Rams. Packers slaughtered the 49ers.
Ooh, Bengals Chiefs.
Bengals Chiefs, and
that could be a good one.
And I like the Falcons and Texans. That'd be a good one too. My boy Julio.
You're killing me, man. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Well, my boy Julio. Gotta go with Julio, baby.
Kansas City at the Bengals.
Huh. Cincinnati, huge. A.J. Green has a field day against that Kansas City defense. If anybody's playing fantasy football, you better watch out. If you haven't drafted him, you better draft him.
Okay, give me your score.
I'm going to say 35-21. Bengals. And I see you went 7 points lower than me.
I did. I think the Bengals beat Kansas City, but I think it's 35-14. And with that, guys, we want to remind everybody to pack your babies up in the car today, run down to the Pensacola Interstate Fair, and take them to the circus.
Yeah, and Paul will be there performing tonight. So
I am so disappointed that I missed the raising of the Big Top. First time in 40 years that I have missed the Big Top going up.
Well, it's been a busy time.
I'm just disappointed in myself. I'm slipping. I am really slipping.
You don't have to be disappointed at yourself. I mean, of course, we've had some big deals going on. We've had some outside deals going on.
So anyhow, I will be there. Not tonight. Sunday after church, I am going to the greatest show under the Big Top.
And he'll be performing, so you can come feed him.
I will be. I will be the one hitting Chris in the leg with the little elephant stick.
No, I won't be.
Anyhow, we go to the circus. Want to remind also everybody, starting October the 22nd, running through November 2nd, our biggest sponsor of all, Pensacola Interstate Fair.
The fair is here.
See us. We will be in the main building, guys.
Signing autographs.
We're going to be raffling off not one trip, not 2 trips, but 3
how'd you pull this
trips this year.
All right, let's tell everybody.
We're going to be giving away a pair of tickets to the greatest game in the world, the 50th anniversary,
5-0,
the NFL, the Super Bowl, with 2 tickets, coach, on Southwest Airlines.
Leaving from Pensacola,
arriving in San Francisco.
Via probably Dallas or something.
1 room, 2 nights at the San Francisco Marriott in downtown San Francisco. And here's the kicker. Car service from the hotel to the game and back. That is our one prize.
That's the grand prize.
It's not, nope. That's just one prize.
That's one prize, okay. All right.
The second prize you can win is a trip for 4 to the Great American Race in February, the Daytona 500, with 4 pit passes. Transportation to Daytona is up to you.
I quit. I'm going to enter that one. I want to go to Daytona one time.
Is up to you to get there, and your hotel, of course, is up to you. But the tickets are good.
Well,
tickets are good for the Grand National Race on Saturday, and the big race, the 500, on Sunday.
Right.
Tickets are on the Turn 4 Tower, about halfway up.
How in the world did you pull them off?
Also, compliments of NASCAR and NASCAR charities.
Well, ain't that cool? And
now
this
final trip.
Okay.
4 tickets.
4. Not 5, but 4.
The Verizon Clubhouse.
Okay. Verizon Clubhouse. I'm beginning to
the SEC Championship game. Room for 1 night at the downtown Peachtree Marriott. All of this can be yours for the simple donation of $1. $1, guys. Come by, donate $1, get a ticket, fill it out.
If you buy them off, we have 100 tickets. It's $100. basically, we'll just give you all 3 trips, and then you can put them on eBay.
And the way the drawing is going to work this year is we are going to draw on Thanksgiving for the SEC championship
Because
game.
you got to do that because
That's in December.
Because that's the day after the. That's the. Do we need to do that beforehand? Because that gives Turkey Day, everybody's gonna be broke, man. How are we gonna have people gonna go to Atlanta?
Listen, I'm just telling you this is how we do it every year. We're not going to change it up.
Okay,
well, it's not broke. We don't fix it.
Okay, I'm just trying to
Number
help
2,
out.
we're going to donate. We're going to pick the Daytona and Super Bowl winners Christmas Day.
Me and you have to get together Christmas Day and do that, and exchange gifts, and then pull a name out of a hat.
The only gift you're going to get from me is a card that says, "See you next season, sucker." I mean, hey, Chris, Merry Christmas. Anyhow, guys.
Kiss my foot.
We're going to do the drawings.
Literally, kiss my foot.
I am going to have an outside party. Do the drawing. We're going to run a contest. And whoever is chosen to do the drawing will also do the drawing and get tickets to South Alabama football next year.
Oh, so how are you gonna pull that off?
We have a very good relationship with South Alabama.
Yeah, as you can see, the coach is right beside me, so he likes me more than you.
So, what we're gonna do is going to go.
By the way, Joey just looks so intimidating right there. You don't want to make him mad, and he just looks so intimidating in that picture.
Can I finish?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Giving the spiel so we can get off the air and watch some college football.
I'm sorry, ADD. Squirrel.
Alrighty. So, all you got to do is we are going to put a link up on our website, which will allow you to enter your email address. And on the last day of the fair, we will pick an email address at random. The computer will actually kick it out, and that will be our winner.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was going to sleep on that one.
Anyhow, with that, we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Well, before we get off, before we go off, you know, we got, you know,
thought we were gonna get away with one.
We're gonna get away with one. We gotta go. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
I know.
We gotta go.
I'm just trying to think here, but you know what? As tell everybody what's gonna go on at the fair too. Besides just coming and seeing our smiling faces and seeing our ugly mugs.
Well, we're gonna
have shows.
Yeah, we'll do the Sports Zone will be live from the fair. The Inside Pitch live from the fair. On their respective days, and then we'll be out there hustling every day that the fair is open, trying to raise as much money as we can so that we can keep doing
what we do and what we love
this stuff. And with that being said, Chris, we are leaving now.
Yes, we are going to leave now. Take care now. Y'all have a great week. God bless you, and we will see you again in 2 weeks. And our next broadcast date will be, let me pull up the calendar here, will be on the 17th of October. So we'll see you guys then next week, and 2 weeks on October the 12th. Paul, say your goodbyes, Paul.
Goodbye, Paul.
See you guys.